talk about your car, Tim.
Yeah, the Dart.
The Dart.
Well,
Dart.
hey, you know what? When you started talking about your car fire a while
Coming
ago,
from behind Dart.
when you started talking about your car fire a while ago, I realized how lucky I was that the coming from behind Dart did not burn to the ground. Of course, what I have is the old school manual fire extinguisher right there ready to go, but of course that wouldn't have helped me if it caught on fire doing 120 around turn 8. But it started sputtering and sputtering. I was out there one lap. I think we got some in-car video I was looking at. I thought it was 2 laps, but it actually started doing it after a lap. I was talking to my passenger going, wow, it feels like we're running out of gas. And that's what it felt like. We're down on power. We're started off, Keith wanted to follow us and get some video, and so we were out there running, and I couldn't stay in front of Keith, and it started sputtering. And first, as I came into the pits, I said, well, it must be out of gas, because I'd been driving it around town, and then Brian had it out on the track. I didn't know for sure, and I didn't know if Chris had driven it. I didn't know where the gas was. We put 15 gallons of gas in it, went back out on the track, and it started doing the same thing. So after running a couple more laps, we came in, and then somebody noticed that it had gas everywhere on one of the cars. So we pulled the breather off, fired it back up. It was like the Bellagio Hotel, and the rear float bowl was shooting gas up, and so
every pump of the pump, it would go whoosh.
So we pulled it off, and the float bowls, they're 4150 carburetors, so the float bowls slide on a shaft, and there's a E-clip, and the E-clip was missing. I couldn't find it anywhere in the bowl or anything. So, today everything's plastic. We were just lucky. There was a 1970s bunny bread or whatever tie wrap thing there. So we stripped off the plastic, and it just had the little wire. So I wrapped that around a few times and put the float back on. And
so the float actually came loose.
Yeah, it came loose, so it wasn't able to keep the seat up and regulate the bowl. So fixed that, but then it was 5 p.m., so we figured, well, at least we can get it on the trailer without
it was margarita time.
Without catching on fire, and then so that was it. So I'll have to pull that off and at some point and put another clip on there, or just see how long that wire lasts. So yeah, that was the deal with the Dart, but I was disappointed you didn't take it out.
Well,
I was kind of looking forward to you taking it out.
I don't remember you asking me.
I did. You were tired. I got it on
keys were
video.
in it, dude.
You're like, I'm done. I'm tired.
Well, that's true. I didn't get much sleep that night. It's a 1,000-mile tow down here.
I know.
We got 2 days of driving on the LA horrible freeways.
And then you have to redo the
with
siding.
the truck and the trailer doing this, and people cutting me off, and
it's like 2 hours.
I was pretty tired that day.
Well, if you would have watched Chris and I's video all the way to the end, we kind of have a fix for that. What caliber pistol do you have in the glove box?
Yeah, that's a.
No, I know. Yeah. I don't keep it in the glove box, so it's usually by the seat.
That's the problem.
So
in LA, you're not going to get any
you
respect.
Need it in the glove box.
You're not going to get any respect without a handgun in traffic. Okay, so that's the first thing.
Well, that's one thing I noticed in LA traffic is if you want that lane, if you want to move over a lane, you've got to earn it.
Yeah,
I found that's what I said yesterday. If you want that lane, you just can't go there. I can't move over to that lane, or I got to earn it. That's the only way you can change lanes in LA traffic.
There's a couple philosophies.
They're not going to know you mean business unless you actually start to put a dent in their fender.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is it's not their fault, really. It's not that they don't want you to have that space in front of them. They're just not aware that you want to go there with your signal on because they're texting.
Yeah, well, the whole thing
is...
The whole thing is you need to take a different approach to the LA highway. I take the entitlement approach. I'm entitled whatever lane I want, when I want, and how I want, and that's how I take it.
Well, one thing Chris and I recommend for beginners, especially there's a lot of anti-gun people, there's a lot of people that aren't big on, flashing guns for a lane change, and I respect that. So for beginners, just to work your way up, I say get a paintball gun. You're not going to kill anybody. It's just, they can wash the paint off. It's not a big deal. Try that first.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I used to live down here, and I moved up north. Now I live in Portland, right? And everybody there, they actually wave at you and come on over.
Yeah.
It's
a whole different
but
world.
here,
well, this is
Here
it's kind of
if
a
you
culture
put your
shock.
blinker on, they speed up.
Yeah,
so the blinker, do not use it.
There's a lot.
I don't know. That's for somebody else, not.
I like it. It's just like cultures are different. New York, Boston, people honk a lot. People don't really honk a lot.
No,
in LA.
I didn't hear any honk.
It's a lot of nonverbal communication. Nonverbal.
Yeah.
Just nonverbal. You kind of got to read between the lines.
Yeah, the
Literally.
horns don't work. Watch for the finger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Or text them a message. Hey, I need a spot in front of you.
There you go.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have text numbers on the back of the car so they can text you.
Yeah. So we got a new year. It's the beginning of race season. You've got your car sorted out now. What are your plans for Team Starfish?
Well, the first thing was to get it sorted out on a track day, which we did,
Yeah.
and the car ran great. We're going to probably only do a couple events this year because we've got some issues going on up with the house, and so we're going to do we're going to skip the historics that we always do up in Seattle, and we're going to do the race in September with Sovereign at PIR. And then I want to do the hill climb again, the Goldendale Hill Climb in Goldendale, Washington, which is really nice. It's like a little miniature version of Pikes Peak. It's all paved on about a 2.5 mile, 2.5 miles and 24 turns.
Wow.
And
Wow.
And like 4 of them are switchbacks.
So 4 full button heads.
Yeah.
And where's that up?
It's in Goldendale, Washington.
Okay. I wish it wasn't so far.
And it's all uphill. Do they have another race coming back down?
No, actually, you drive up there, then everybody waits at the top, and if everybody's up, then you come back down again. You come down in a group.
All the broken cars race down.
Yeah, but
Broken
guys
cars
are
are
bringing
told on.
guys are bringing Indy cars. You know, they're bringing even the Formula Vs. The Formula Vs do just well there. The little Volkswagen powered
Wow.
sports races, they do fine there because they go around the corners fast.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I just thought of something. I want to throw an invite out to you. We're short a driver. What would you think about December, 25 hours of Thunderhill?
In the dark,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we might be able to do that.
Think about it, and Chris has got to think about it too. I mean, the cars just needs to be gone through. Chris and I.
Now, you didn't need the license for the Lemons race though.
No.
This isn't Lemons.
You need
So
a driver's
not,
license.
okay.
This is NASA.
Oh, it's a NASA event. Okay.
Yeah, and you do need a license. SCCA will transfer over.
Yeah, see,
whatever
I've got a BMC license, which is which is through Sovereign.
Does my permit to carry count?
It'll help.
Only in
Okay.
LA.
Only in a
But it's not in LA. It's in Thunderhill.
So I'll find out about reactivating mine. Yours will be no problem. Brian shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I have to get my physical done in December, so.
You have to get mine
Once I
too.
pass the physical, I'm
You'll
good.
have to get his and his licensure, but we could be working on that. So the race is at Thunderhill. Check it out. It's the NASA. It's a 25-hour race. We did that I think it was 2005. It was awesome. It was some of the best racing that I've done. I mean, Lemons is probably the best, but there's also some of the worst racing I've done has been involved in that.
I saw that.
Well, some of the worst flagging, which I didn't put up on the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah.
There's some. It's hard. And I don't mean to be hard on the flaggers. It's hard. I don't know if they have some newbies out there or what, but there's some things that come up in women's racing that don't come up in any other type of racing. One of the problems is that by another tower, they will have 40 cars all backed up, and it'll be going past them. They're so preceding their tower.
Not just
But
that
coming
way.
from the other tower, you'll have a blind spot before you get to that tower. That when you come out of that blind spot, if you can stop before those cars, it'll be a miracle, and people go off or do hit those cars because it's hard
Nowhere
to get
else
it.
to go.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go. So the preceding tower really isn't familiar with a situation like that, and that situation comes up too many times in a race weekend. Wow,
A haboob.
I feel like we're in Kansas.
Haboob.
So let's see. So anyway, so that's awesome. So I'm glad that you're interested in that. Brian's definitely interested. I think we may have mentioned it when you were there. Or maybe,
Yeah, that's the first I've heard about it.
okay. So that's 4 drivers right there, and you want 4. The the only downside about that race is it's at night. It's like 25 degrees. You have to have a motorhome. You need a radio set up. So we'll have to spring for a radio setup, in-car radio. So they can let you know when you're coming in the pits and that sort of thing. You just can't stand out there in that freezing cold all night waiting in case somebody comes in 2 hours. So
We might still have our radios.
the one thing that's
Our radio setup.
not legal on the dart is the Monza style flip top gas cap. So I'll have to modify. I'll have to put another one on that has a screw on lid. So that's not a huge deal. And really, that's just about it.
Yeah, that's a very well prepped car.
You'll have to go back
yeah.
through that car, and the rules rather. It's pretty well prepped, so I think we'll probably be pretty close.
Tank will pass?
Yeah, OEM tanks are fine, and it's an OEM tank. It's just that I put that Monza style fuel inlet on it, so we'll just get rid of that and put a screw on. So
it needs driving lights.
Yeah, we'll have to put driving light, and then when it comes nighttime, you take tape and you run it all the way across the back, and you leave like a 16th slit in it. So there's just enough like slit that you can sort of tell that a car's back there, and then you also kind of do it on your side view mirror too.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because everybody's got these huge airplane lights on.
Yeah, right.
I guess we could wrap it up.
Yeah.
For this segment.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks again for coming all the way down here. I know it was a big tow.
It was a big tow home too, but
Thanks
you know what, it was
Shelley.
worth it.
Just take your time.
We had a great time.
You guys plan on stopping anywhere on the way home?
We got 2.5 days to get home, 1,000 miles.
But no plans on where to stop? You're gonna find someplace cool?
No, wherever we wind up, we wind up.
That's cool.
Although it's interesting that our first night was at Thunderhill. Right, we stayed in Willows. The second night was in, we drove right by Button Willow, right on the way out to Mojave, and then we were at Willow Springs. So we're going up and down all the West
All the Willows
racetrack. Yeah, out to Willows.
Have you ever been to Chuck Willow, out by Palm Springs?
No.
It's a new...
Vara runs out there.
Yeah. See, you've heard of Chuck Willow.
Yeah.
Is it Chuck Willow or Chuck Walla?
Oh, well, all the southern people say Chuck Walla, like tobacco.
Oh, okay.
But it's Chuck Willow.
I've always heard it called Chuck Walla.
Yeah, it's just because that's how the desert people say it.
Walla Springs?
Yeah.
Button Walla?
It's like and there's like a Walla, Washington, or Willow.
Well, it's Walla onions that come from Walla, Washington.
Isn't it? I thought it was Willow.
No, it's Walla.
Oh.
Yeah, Button Wallow.
That's
Button Wallow Raceway.
Well, what if you have
Is it Wallow
some
Springs?
What if you have Walla Wallas at Button Willow?
Wait,
then you could go to Chuck Willow.
is Thunderhill at Wallows, California?
Yeah, well, sometimes when it rains, you could wallow around there, I guess.
You wallow around in some mud.
Yeah, there's a lot of rain.
All right. I don't know if we can edit all that out.
I say we edited it in. Right there it says commando. Does that mean when you race, you're commando, no underwear?
That's right.
Awesome. I've always wanted to go commando while I race. I always use that third sock, so it's technically not commando.